picking up live, and we're super excited to let you know that today we have a guest with us in the studio talking about parenting. She is none other than Honorable Mrs. Ada Frederick Okori, and she is the PDP National Coordinator, PDP word-for-word National Coordinator, word-to-word National Coordinator and founder. We're so excited to have you here, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So today we're looking at parenting.
Yes. Recently the Babajide Sanwo-Olu said that most of the social vices in Nigeria as a result of bad parenting, and we thought about who better to bring as a guest than somebody who is in the political sector. You're a woman in politics. You're busy. You're running around every other day, and you still have your family to take care of. So how do you balance, the requirements of your job, what you're doing? How do you balance that with taking care of your children?
Thank you for these questions. I'm a woman. I'm a woman with vision. And I'm a mother. And I want to say that it has something to do with your vision and how you discipline yourself and program yourself. I know politics is very busy. It has to do with very busy and tight schedule sometimes. But at the same time, it is good for us to showcase our strength. And it is good time for us also to be a good parent to our children. So being a good parent to your children, you are giving to the society what they could learn and how they could read your political background. I want to say that, first of all, you have to be a committed mother, because as a mother, your children look up to you and they copy from you. So when they see that strength you are putting into politics, they see you being very, very, very committed, they will take life serious as well. Because what we are doing is trying to tell the society that we have the capacity, we have, you have the capacity to do something, to change the world, to change the environment around you. And so you must let your children know that you can do it, just like men. We are not trying to compete with the men. So at the same time, we know our strength, and the children they learn from there too. That, if my mom can do this kind of thing, she can have all this busy tight schedule and still have time for us, so we have to discipline ourselves. So first of all, I want to say that I am a discipliner. I discipline my children. I let them know that Nigeria is a country where we need a leader. We need to raise a leader, and they can be one of those leaders tomorrow. So they should try as much as possible to learn what it takes to lead this country. I come back home, anytime I am in the house with them, I try to let them know that this is your duty in the house as a child. If you are to go to bed at the right time, I make sure that you go to bed at the right time. I make sure that you are there to do your chores, as the house chores, as as a child. I make sure that you read your book at the right time. I make sure that you don't joke with things, your responsibility. You do it at the right time. So that's what makes somebody a disciplined, human being. So I think that's all I have to say.
Amazing. So at the end of the day, you're talking about living by example.
Yes.
So how you want your kids to live is how you live.
Yes.
Now, you were talking about chores in the course of your course of the conversation.
Yeah.
And I'd like to ask this question. When you're giving out chores to your children, do you diversify? Do you pick which child, which gender does this? Do you say the boys have to do this or the girls have to do this?
I mean, they are traditionally male roles, and they're
I
traditionally
trained them. I had a boy and 2 girls. So, and because it's one boy that I have, I always make him to understand that one day you get married to another woman like me and your sisters. So you need to be there for them. You need to be there for your wife. Sometimes, you know, your wife could take in and find it difficult to stand up to make your food. So you need to know how to make your food.
Yourself.
You need to know how to wash the plate. You need to learn how to, you know, be nice to your younger ones, your sisters. You need to learn how to be nice to others and be nice to women. I taught him all that. And I think he's doing well.
Okay, so as a parent now, and then this is a good thing because you're in politics as well, you have your candidates that you're supporting, you know, for the elections. Does the person that you're supporting, you know, going forward, your candidate, as you're supporting this person, is it somebody that cares about the upbringing of your child? Because we can argue that right now with what is on ground, there's not enough support for, you know, there are not enough child-friendly policies or family-oriented policies in Nigeria that encourage or the, you know, the growth of very well development of the child, especially the girl child in Nigeria.
First of all, my candidate, the presidential candidate, I always say, is a role model. And you have seen his antecedent. He's a parent. He has children. And he's also determined. That alone is enough to teach a child that you should not give up on something that you want. You should not give up on something, you know, that will make your country and your environment better for everybody. He's a very, very determined person. I see him like a role model. And I think Nigerian child, the young ones, should learn from him. My party presidential candidate is the former vice president, you know, and my party presidential candidate has been somebody like what the youth need at this point of our time. Is somebody that the women need. He's a man that cares about his family and cares about the well-being of Nigerians. And he has proven that so many times. The former vice president, the father and the pillar of democracy in Nigeria, that's what I call him. His Excellency Dr. Atiku Abubakar is the role model. So that's what I see him. And so any child that is trying to learn the art of politics in Nigeria should learn from him and should also behave like him.
Okay, so Soma, quickly, let's know the ideas or your words to every parent out there. What are you telling them? What can you say to a parent in terms of upbringing? Just few words.
Few words to my fellow women in politics. You should create time to be with your children. At the same time, take your politics work serious. And then portray yourself as the person that other women can learn from. It mustn't be the bad example all the time. We know when you talk about women in politics, some people have their opinion. You should set a good example. You should be like a book that others would like to read, you know, to make up for, you know, for the challenges in life. And I tell you, we are doing well. We are doing very, very well. We have to set ourselves as a role model to others. So making things alive, you look back where you're coming from and what you stand for. And then how many people are watching you and want to be like you. So that is what I see.
Thank you so
much. Sorry, just one last question for you, ma'am. The greatest gift, I think the greatest gift that you can give to your child is a better Nigeria. Because you're going to have to hand over to these people at some time. And they're the ones that get to feel the effect of whatever choices or decisions that we make now. in your daily activities, in your work, in the choices that you make, how have you been able to ensure a better future for your children?
Well, I will relate that with the PDP word to word I started. Word to word now is, is like a global, name and a group.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just start to become what it is today. I've put in a lot of hard work, sleepless night, to do that. And like I said before, whatever I'm doing, I make sure I put my time to do it and do it very well. And I don't look at it as a challenge. I look at it as a platform to sell myself, to tell Nigerians as a contribution to my country. And that is why I pick very well. I look, before I support anybody, before word to word come out to support anybody, we study the person. We study what the person has to offer. We don't just support people. We just, we look at people's background, what they have to offer, what Nigerian can gain from them and what the world can gain from them. You don't just come and join politics without a vision, without something to give. So I think it's the platform where I have to contribute my quota to my own country that I love so much. And that is why I am supporting my presidential candidate right now, and all the PDP candidates that we have right now. They are the best. So I urge Nigerians to please help us and make this country better again, prosper for everybody, to be secure for everybody, because we have challenges. Yes. We have a lot of challenges, and it starts from home.
The home, yes.
So now that we have somebody that is coming out to help us, make Nigeria and address this issue. Someone who is a father to everybody. So you can never come across this man and not give something and not have something to learn about him positively. So I think it has a lot to do for Nigeria, and we should give them a chance, especially our incoming president. I can say that over and over, again, my incoming president, Dr. Atiku Abubakar, the pillar of democracy in Nigeria. I urge all Nigerian women to queue behind him, because it's through him that we have a better nation. And that's all I can say.
I mean, we have another reason to, 40%. We talked about this the other day. He's giving women 40%, inclusiveness in his government.
Inclusiveness is a women-friendly. So his government is the government. He has said it on TV. He has said it several times, that he's going to work with the youth and women. He's going to work with those, he's going to set up a policy that will include everybody. And so I think with him, we are sure of getting more than 35%.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Like we've heard from our guest, everything she said is that charity begins at home. So even when you're at the forefront, you make sure you put your family together and also put the work you're doing together. Thank you so much, Ma, for being a part of today's show.
I'm happy to be with you this morning.
Thank you, Ma. So we're going to go on a very quick break. When we're right back, we will continue from where we stopped. Don't go nowhere.
One, we can get it done.
Here most of the differences is either north-south or Muslim-Christian. These are the divisions. These divisions are deep. You see, even in the smallest family unit, you need unity to have stability, peace and progress of that family. Now, translate that into a bigger and more complex country like Nigeria. And therefore, unity is number one.
Atiku knows about diversity.
His inner circle reflects the face of Nigeria.
And when you see the crowd around him, the mixture is amazing. There's hardly any ethnic group that's not present around him.
And for you to be admired by the various segments of the citizens of this country, the secret that he has to touch.
The type of leader that Nigeria needs is somebody who will unite the people together. I believe strongly that Atiku Abubakar is that type of leader. So he has so many friends everywhere, among the Christians, among the Muslims, and also outside Nigeria.
People find it safe to rely on him, to rely on what he's saying and what he's doing.
Ability to chart the course and steer the ship.
He understands the problem of this country. He understands the heartbeat of Nigerians.
So I see hope in his leadership.
This man can be trusted. I have no hesitation at all in endorsing him as candidate for president for Nigeria in 2000.
Thank you for joining us and staying with us. Welcome back to that women are still forging ahead, irrespective of the percentage that we have right now.
I mean, I liked what you said. It's basically what we've been saying all along, that women, you need to teach your children to aspire. And I like that she's doing that, and she's leading by example. She's showing her children that you can do this, and we've seen them actually, we've seen a lot of parents lately see the tone for their children. And
being that she's actually at the helm of affair as a public figure, I think that brings us to celebrity kids, to celebrity parents, because we've seen a lot of celebrities and their kids and how they've been able to, most of them have pushed their kids, most of them supporting their kids, and having children at young age, developing brands, registering brands, and doing so well. I think we'll start with the very first. That is Dr. Ngozi Ngozi. It's the lady amazes me every second.
She is very successful. She's very, very successful in her own personal career. And then we have her son doing amazing things, breaking the US record, medical record. And then it shows you that this woman has not just worked on herself. She has not grown over time. It's not a mistake.
Yes.
She's been very intentional about passing the same traits, about passing the same ideologies to her children, so that her children learn to be exceptional. I think she'll be so busy with what she's doing. She'll not have enough time to look.
Imagine the son at that level. This is just an example of good parenting. And let's not say, I think, this is my opinion anyways, my personal opinion. Aside from the neglectful parenting skill, I think it has had to have that level of good parenting, my opinion. Like I said, you've been able to comfortably mix up this three parenting, the authoritative, the authoritarian, and permissive. At the same time, you've been able at a particular time, especially in this present generation, and fuse it together.
And the authoritative, authoritarian, or neglectful. Sometimes, I think with growing up, some children demand too much attention. They seek attention. And sometimes you find out that what works is to deny them that attention that they so seek. And you find out that with denying them, they learn to, to be more dependent on themselves. They learn that they cannot always get everybody's attention when they want it. And they learn to be self-sufficient, really. So I think, like you said, it's really a mix. It's a mix. You have to know what parents to be at one time, what type of parents to be to your children at one time, what they need to listen to them and find out what they need. Sometimes your children need you to be friends, and at some other times they don't want you as their friend. They want you as their parent. They want you to
as their teacher. Yes, you just have to be everything to your child at a particular time. We're just going to take one other celebrity parent, and that's the Idibias.
Well, I mean, each to his own. A lot of people called both Annie and Two-Face out at some point for letting their young girl
start up
Isabel,
a brand.
No, be on social media, manage her own, because it's not a big deal for celebrities now to have their
social media accounts for their kids, but they manage it themselves.
They don't. But Isabel apparently is managing her own account herself. And I know she trolled an Instagram user at some point, and then people started, talking about it. Why are you letting your young daughter, be on social media at this time? Well, I would say that it is not in my place to
tell a parent how to raise a child.
How to raise their
own child. Yes.
It is their own child. They know this child better than I do. They know what works for this child, and what you think works for the child.
I don't know. I think a lot of parents know the discipline pattern that can go to a particular child. You have 5 kids. You know your child individually.
Each of them, but then it still comes down to help because you need to get help. Everybody that is a parent for the first time. You are not a parent. You had no idea of what parenting was before you had a child. So it's not like you have any handbook or manual, and there's no hard or fast rule when it comes to parenting. You can't say that this is how my neighbor raised his own child,
so I have to do it that way.
You try the same thing on your child will turn out useless. But we are saying that there are some things, some guidelines that should be followed when raising your child. You should seek help. You should seek help if you need it. Again, I'll always fall back to community parenting. Let other people have their inputs, but make sure that you have the final say. I mean, don't just let anybody tell you how to raise your child. Weigh all these opinions, take them into consideration, and then find out what works, apply, test. Parenting is trial and error. A huge percentage of parenting is trial and error. You have to keep testing and finding out what's working. But I feel like if you start taking this community parenting more seriously, I think we'll find a lot less people that are disposed to becoming part of a terror group or drug abuse or prostitution, or there's so many social vices that we could actually avoid
the result from bad
just by good parenting.
Yes. So we're actually running out of time now. IJ, I think we need more time because we don't get to exhaust our topics. We need more time, and I know you all can agree with us. So we're going to go straight to our tweet to just take 2 or 3 tweets quickly before we take our quotes and we're out.
Well, I think we'll probably just take 1 tweet because we're actually running out of time. Okay. But somebody says that parenting in Nigeria is just paying school fees. A lot of people assume that paying the fees for your child is really what matters, and the love, bond, and attention are absent.
I agree totally. I agree totally, because when you go to schools, especially the primary schools, and you go and check the daycare, you imagine parents, working class parents, leave their kids in school to 7 p.m. Really, I've had that experience before.
Yeah, you've mentioned.
Yeah, I've had that experience where a mom left the child, and this child is barely 2 years.
How do you do that?
At the daycare till 7 p.m. What kind of work are you doing?
And then you look at it, and I think this kind of issue also arises a lot in single parenting, where you have one person, the one who has custody of the child, and then the one that does not have direct custody of the child feels like their only input into the child's life is financial. So you feel like, I've sent money for your school fees, for your upkeep, I've done my job as a parent. That's not parenting.
It goes beyond that.
It goes beyond paying for fees, for paying the bills and doing some of these things. You need to be hands-on once in a while. Even if you're not in custody of this, call, talk to your child. How are you doing? What's going on? Because at the point, the child begins to see you as a money
stranger,
bag.
Yeah.
You're a stranger. You're just a money bag. You're just somebody they can call when they need anything. And that's not a good way for you. I feel like, of course, there's always a need for both parents, the male figure and the female figure, to help in the upbringing of the child, because it balances out. The women have their roles and the men have their roles. You cannot take or assume the roles of men.
You can't take it out.
So, yeah. But then, whatever you do, have both parents involved in the upbringing and make sure that everybody is
especially in the early stage of that child.
Yeah,
so this brings us to this quote, IJ, is just exactly what you were talking about, and the quote is from Barbara Johnson. She said, to be in your child's memories tomorrow, you have to be in their lives today.
That's a very deep quote.
Yes, to be in your child's memories tomorrow, you have to be in their lives today, and being in their lives today goes beyond just paying fees. I mean, you have to do more.
That's not what you want to be remembered as.
So I'll just take one last quote. Anyone can have a child and call themselves a parent. A real parent is someone who puts their child above their own selfish needs and wants.
I mean, that's what we know parents for, to make sacrifices. And it's like our guest was saying, when you're looking at a parent, when you're looking at Nigeria, and you're saying this is a father to the people, it is somebody who is able to make sacrifices, very hard sacrifices, for the good of the nation. You sacrifice your personal interest. You're putting together everybody to make sure that,
there's a smooth sail at the end of the day.
And you have to carry everybody along.
irrespective of who they are.
I think that's
the
one
individual
thing.
differences.
That's the main reason I admire Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. I think he has been able to effectively carry everybody along. He's been able to unify everybody, living true to his name. He's been able to unify everybody, carry everybody along. Some of your children are stubborn, some are quiet, some are reserved, some are out. But at the end of the day, your children are your children.
You can't
Carry
deny
everybody
them.
along.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a beautiful time here as usual at the studio. We'd like to say a big thank you to our guests for joining us, for your contribution, and a big thank you to you all for staying to the end of the show. Please do well to drop your contributions and tweet suggestions as usual to our social media handles that are displayed right now. Don't leave your child stranded. Don't. You have to be involved in your child's life. If my name is Tiana Waldbasi, I get to see you next time. Same time tomorrow. Stay.
My name is
Chill.
Ijoma.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys tomorrow as well. We'll